The silent protagonist is a common gaming trope that we see in most games ever since the beginning of gaming as a way of storytelling. It's a theme that's resonated with most gamers to the point where if their character is given a voice, it's either met with great praise or mixed reviews. So why is the main character in Sun and Moon seen with such ridicule even though he abides by not saying a word? He follows the trope, but most gamers see problems in the fact that no matter the situation this character is in, he always has a light smile. So does he break the believability of the game by making it silly and absurd? Or is it something more extreme? Like, is our character actually crazy? In any given medium, whether it be movies, video games, or even books, the audience is asked to suspend their disbelief in order to let the scenarios occurring touch them on an emotional level. So when you have a character that doesn't engage in a conversation, it could either come across as endearing or a complete waste and distraction. Since in real life, you really don't meet someone with the personality of a saltine. Plain, boring, even unsalted, multigrain. Even the quietest person has depth to them. Everyone has a story to tell. But what if I told you, the silent protagonist isn't an idea that stemmed out of video games? Silent protagonists go as far back as ancient Greece, where they were commonly known as mimes. Although silent artists have the amazing power to elicit laughter out of an audience, mimes can cause a whirlwind of emotions for those who are willing to suspend themselves into their performance. Back in the 1930s, indulging in mimes was the norm, aka silent films. Charlie Chaplin pretty much single-handedly wrote the book on silent acting in film. 1931, City Lights. An acclaimed film due to Chaplin's ability to make a scene impactful using only his face and body chemistry. Scene breakdown. Charlie's character looks at a window display. Two hooligan paper boys take in the man's strange and ratty attire. The boy shoots a spitball at the man. The man reacts, and the boys turn away as if nothing happened. The man glares, but he doesn't get angry. He turns away. A typical response to such cruelty would be to yell at the boys, but without any context of the plot, we know that in this scene, Chaplin's character is feeling some sort of despair that is suppressing his rage. Even though the boys harass him, he does not bat a lash because there is something bigger eating at him. No dialogue is needed. Let's take what we learned from this scene and apply it to the iconic scene from The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. It begins to rain. Princess Zelda is being rushed out of Castletown by her guardian Impa. In an act of desperation, she throws her cherished ocarina to the hero. She misses, and it plummets to the bottom of the moat. Our hero turns around and immediately takes a step back. He sees the face of evil, Ganondorf. The villain clears his throat and utters the line, "Arg, I lost her." Okay, let's stop here. This line is an unnecessary waste of time. But why? If there's anything that we learned from Chaplin, it's that less is more. In film, there is this idea of mise en scène, or the arrangement of scenery and stage properties in the play. In this scene, the cut of Zelda running away and the next cut with Ganondorf staring menacingly into the distance means that the audience could put two and two together. It's obvious that the big scary man was trying to capture the weak and defenseless princess. It's insulting to the intelligence of the audience actually saying what's going on, like, yeah, we get it, we can see. If anyone is getting the Oscar in this scene, it has to be the hero for his simple yet impactful actions. The act of taking a step back when he saw the face of his enemy told us everything we needed to know. He is about to face something much bigger and more powerful than himself, but the hero doesn't run away. Rather, we don't run away, because we are the hero. At the beginning of Legend of Zelda and Pokemon, you are asked to name your character. These characters do have canon names, but for the effect of embodying the journeyman, you are given the opportunity to name the character whatever you see fit. When I was a kid, I always named my character Marcus, because for those 2 hours a day when my mom allowed me to play video games, I was the hero. And this is where the power of the silent protagonist really shines. Traditional forms of media require you to view events unfold on screen, whereas in a video game, the events are happening directly to you. There's no need for any sort of dialogue because when you play, you're forming your own lines as you progress. Alright, so let's bring this conversation back to Pokemon, more specifically Gold and Silver, the battle against Whitney's infamous Miltank. No cutscenes here, just you and the monster. As you battled this gym for the first time, you were probably saying things along the lines of, how much defense does this thing have? Don't get paralyzed, don't get paralyzed, don't get paralyzed. No, don't heal, don't heal, don't heal, don't heal. Ah, God! Milk drink! Those are real emotions that you, the hero, are having. And did you really need a cutscene telling you how to feel? Nah, just you and your reactions. For you are the most genuine actor of them all, the player. Although I love a good story-based game like Life is Strange and Uncharted, nothing compares to when a game tells you its story through emotions experienced through gameplay. Back in Gold and Silver, sprites were the only form of art. Story was told solely from text and the occasional exclamation point reaction that would appear over a character's head to elicit shock. But as we entered the polygonal era of gaming, characters were physically able to show emotions, such as the hero did in Ocarina of Time. Now this brings us back to Sun and Moon, considered by many to be a return to grace with strides in story and mechanics, but your main character is a lifeless, smiling dolt. Is this necessarily a bad thing? And to that, I would have to answer no. It's rather an artistic choice taken by the game's director. Game developers have had the ability to animate facial features and body movements for nearly 20 years. So why does this game choose to not do any of that? The fact that the trainer only has one facial expression hammers home the fact that this isn't a story about Lily, Gladion, or Luzamine, but it's a tale about you, your expressions into your avatar, and no third party influencing your emotions. Unlike Ocarina of Time, where there is always one solution to each battle, in Pokemon, there are many solutions to a battle. When you're battling Miltank, you have the choice to either take it on by capturing a fighting type in the route prior, or by putting all your training and faith into your starter Pokemon, or by doing something completely different. It's your decisions that take you further on your journey, and thus your trainer always acting neutral is a reminder that this game isn't about how the developers want you to feel when something shocking happens, but rather how you actually feel when you face off against Luzamine, or capture the astounding Luluna, or face off against the man who gave you your first Pokemon. See? When you play, you are feeling every single emotion that's happening. Not Red, not Gold, not Sun, not even Link, but you. And although you might be able to relate to Chaplin's character, you can never say that you are Chaplin. But what you can say is that I was Alola's first champion. Think about it. Now if you'll excuse me, I got some Tektites to kill. Oh god, this game's hard. I am awful at this game. I'm bad. Kill them. Oh, wait.